Leah.
I'm Peter. We're from July Talk.
We're here at Festival d'été.
You're watching Records in My Life on northerntransmission.com.
Album 1, what turned you on?
Album 1, I am going to say an album called Tiny Mirrors by Sandro Perry, who's a Canadian artist. He lives in Toronto, I don't know where he's from. But that album, there was a song called Family Tree, and the first time that I heard it, I was driving with my grandmother's ashes in the front seat up to my cottage on like a very dark and kind of lonely night, and that song came on the radio, and I checked it out. Actually, Peter told me that Sandro Perry was going to be in town like 2 days later or something like that, and I ended up going and meeting him and getting the album, and it's just been one of the greatest, one of the most important albums in my life. And
on Constellation Records.
Yeah.
Out of Montreal. Great record label.
Godspeed.
Yeah, Godspeed
totally.
label,
And
exactly.
hot.
Yeah. Great label. But we bonded on Sandro Perry when we first met quite a bit. My first record would be Lucinda Williams, Car Wheels on a Gravel Road. It was kind of just, she was the voice in my home growing up. She was kind of my dad's favorite singer, and so that the guitar playing and her melodies on that record sort of just feel like they're in my blood, and I can just kind of fall into them like a bed whenever I need them. So I think that's kind of a record that it will always be in my top 5.
Are we supposed to talk about our first record? Was that supposed to be our first record ever?
It could be the record you bought last week.
I'll talk about the first record now. That one wasn't the first record ever. Abbey Road, the Beatles. I mean, it's probably the same for, 60, 75, 80% of the world. But I remember being 10 and my mom giving me that album on vinyl. And it was the copy that she had when she was growing up. And she told me that the song Here Comes the Sun was the song that she used to put on and think about my dad when they first met. And that album just had a massive effect. The Beatles in general have just saved my life so many times.
I would say Granddaddy. The album would probably be Software Slump, however Someday Rules. But I think my dad ordered it he saw a review in New York Times and ordered it from one of those kind of mail order CD things. And I think he's one of the best songwriters out there. He's such a geek and a recluse and just like keeps to himself and doesn't seem to want to talk to anybody. And I think he makes most of his records in his kitchen, and I think those are some of the best songs. Underneath the Weeping Willow, that song is just like a dream. It feels like perfect to me.
You haven't cut us off yet. Can we get one more?
Yeah, of course.
We got lots to say.
We got lots to say.
Yep.
Gonna go ahead and say Jenny Lewis, The Voyager, is an album that we both love a lot. Find her songwriting really inspiring. The way that she can write about anything in a comedic yet heartbreaking, super pithy, real way. She kind of has done that consecutively with every album she's ever released throughout her career, from Rilo Kiley days to Jenny Lewis and the Watson Twins, and now she has a band called Nice as Fuck, who's making super stripped down, political, amazing tunes. But I'd say Jenny Lewis, The Voyager is one that when I'm having a bad day I turn on, and Peter knows to turn it on also when I'm having a bad day. And the song Head Under Water comes on and just kind of like Everything's okay.
But there's a shameless kind of pop sensibility about that record in particular. I think that she didn't put out a record for 7 years, and she had all these songs written, and she went into Ryan Adams' studio. I want to say the Heartbreakers were the band on at least a couple songs as well, and they pounded out the record in a few days. Like, he's like a weirdly quick producer, as I understand, and just forced her to just like, bleh. And so there's like this kind of really cool, shameless sort of like, the hookiest melody that gets caught in your head is the one they went with, and they just pushed it out, and it's like such a satisfying album to listen to.
And we just realized 2 days ago that you can hear Beck's voice in the backups of just one of the guys.
Which is the only one that I think Ryan Adams didn't produce. Beck
Yeah.
did that one, which was a great song. It's awesome. Kick drums. It's great.
That's great.
Awesome.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Awesome.
Thanks
Thank
so
you.
much.